Round 2 of Loki coming up. Hello, welcome back to Asha Media TV. My name is Asha if you're new here, and this is my channel where I like to watch and react and review a variety of stuff related to sci-fi, fantasy, and comic books. So, in today's video, it is round 2, as I said in the intro, of Marvel Studios' Loki, episode 2, called The Variant. Very apt name again. But before I get to pressing play on this episode, I need to cover some basic stuff, especially if you are new to my channel, so please don't skip ahead and listen up. Number 1, in case you missed it in the title, this is a spoiler-filled reaction and review. So spoilers ahead, not only related to Loki, but I likely might accidentally slip out on stuff related to the MCU and any property that the character of Loki, played by Tom Hiddleston, has been featured in. So if you've never watched any MCU stuff, especially with Loki in it, don't watch this video. And number 2, it's possible you've come across other videos on my channel, older ones, where I was showing video footage and or clips with the audio and all that related to the episode. I can no longer provide those kinds of reactions here on YouTube for very specific legal reasons. If you want to know all about that, check out this video here above my finger. Instead, what I offer is a watch-along experience, which is quite common on YouTube, not very popular, but still common. So that means that you have to get access to the episode on your end while I have it on my end, and we sync up together using visual and vocal cues that I provide for you. However, I do offer an alternate version to all of my reactions with bonus content and extra perks. If you want more details on how to access that reaction, it's in the description box for you. And lastly, here's my Normie disclaimer, which pretty much just tells you that I'm what's considered a Normie, meaning that I am not familiar with the source material related to this TV show. I'm only familiar with the mainstream properties provided to me as a viewer from Marvel Studios, so I don't know the comics. Therefore, if I get anything wrong or I misinterpret whatever's going on in the episode, and you are an avid comic book reader, and you know everything about the Thor comics or the Loki comics or whatever comics there are, please be easy on me in the comment section. Use it as a way to correct me with courtesy and respect. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, so if you are ready to watch along with me, let's get going to watching this episode. We are going to explore the variant Loki, and as it's described on Disney Plus here, it says Mobius puts Loki to work, but not everyone at TVA is thrilled about the god of mischief's presence. That sounds exciting, actually. I'm looking forward to seeing that. All right, so if you are going to be watching along with me, keep on watching. If not, check out timestamps in the description box and go skip over to the review takeaway portion and answer my questions in the comment section or whatever you want. Either way, I'm going to watch this episode, so if you're ready to go, let's go. Hello! Okay, so let me give you a quick overview as to how my watch-along process works. So I'm streaming episodes of Loki from Disney Plus, because that's the legal place to get access to these episodes, right? Right. Okay, and I line up right at the beginning, and you'll see on the screen visual cues, or visual aids as I like to call them, when I'm pressing play, pause, and rewind. And you'll also get my vocal cue on top of that. And I tend to pause for 3 reasons if necessary. Number 1, for lagging buffering issues, which has not been a problem, knock on fake wood. And number 2 is I will pause to rewind somewhere in the scene. And number 3, which is the most common, is I will pause to have a commentary moment, a tete-a-tete with you, my viewer, about anything that fascinates me or confuses me or blows my mind about the actual scene that I just watched or what thereof. Sounds easy peasy, I hope. Again, as a reminder, I do offer an alternate version to my reactions to this show with bonus content, extra perks that you can explore for 30 days for free. Details about that is in the description box below. Just letting you know. Okay, let's get to watching. Okay, I'm at the 0000 mark, ready to count down to play. Let's go. All right, 3, 2, 1, Previously on Loki. I love this animation. Yo, man, TVA has way too much power. Right? Speaking of this future, this variant, whatever they're hunting. So Emergency Awesome. It's a great channel. If you don't watch it, check it out. This isn't a spoiler, by the way. This is actually, well, you might consider it a spoiler, so I guess skip forward. But I'm gonna say it right now anyway, because it's out there that this variant is supposed to be a female version of Loki, because according to the gender in the show, Loki is gender fluid, right? Anyway, what I'm trying to get at is some people are up in arms about it, and I'm just like, well, let's wait and see what the context is, because obviously if it's just for the sake of being a female Loki to replace the male Loki, I don't know about that. I personally wouldn't like that. But if it's to add to the story and add more a logical story narrative to it, I'm all for it, you know? Let me know in the comments what do you think of that? If you've heard about that too. All right, so 1985, somewhere in Wisconsin. Some funny name I couldn't pronounce when I saw it there. What is this? A festival? Okay. Wow, could they look more inconspicuous or what? Wouldn't the way they look cause more problems too? Or I think they wipe out their memories, all of their memories or something? I wonder if they ever dress up to fit the time that they go to. Nexus energy. So, okay. I love this song. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Sorry, oh boy. My mind is rewinding back to the 80s right now. Bonnie to Alright, so she's gonna kill her own collies. Oh boy. Oh boy, who's gonna be the hero though in this case? Hmm. As much as I love this song, kind of doesn't completely fit for that scene. It's a little too upbeat for it. I think of the Twilight Zone. Time I see this. Or The Outer Limits. So he has his own desk and everything? Oh my god, I love that. Oh my gosh, we're watching Loki in a suit and tie hanging out in an office. This is so weird. I love it. Of course. Cosmic mistake. My gosh. I want to see all of them. Muscular Loki, goddamn. Hmm? Oh. Oh, okay, yeah, when he has multiple Lokis around. So that's the end game for him, huh? An audience with the timekeepers. No. Mm. This whole Nexus thing is overwhelming for me a little bit. So they never thought that a Loki could actually have mind control power? So easy, huh? It's rightly so. Mm. Mobius is not stupid. They're good together on screen. I would never imagine that. Like, if it was just these two characters and no other character, it'd be interesting still to watch. With great visual effects like this. Look at that. They could just see time end. On old school looking stuff. Missing in action. C20. Wow. This music is cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the whole point of the show, it seems. It means it's a variant that's a real threat. Look at him groveling in a way. Yeah, all the more why it will be a female Loki. No, he hasn't. Loki, you made that so obvious. Oh, wow. Whoa, look at that. It makes it look so palatious, you know? Those statues are creepy, though. Creepy timekeepers. Because his life does. She has a very austere look. Barely. None. Is there any at all? Destruction of Asgard. Entire civilization annihilated. Wow. That's it? Barely 10,000. I thought there was more people on there. All right, a light bulb went off. What? Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. It's his lunch. Oh boy. He's such a punk. He knows what he's doing. Because one way or the other, it's going to be destroyed, kind of thing, or? Yeah. A destroyed salad. That's true. That is very true. Pompeii, Italy. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. That's a good place to start, I guess. Seriously, like Loki loves to be right. That's exactly it for him. Oh. Oh boy. Wow. Hmm. This is a great frame setup right here. Wow. Okay, so we'll eventually see Mobius on a jet ski then. Mm-hmm. Really? He knows he's smart. He knows he's clever. That's hilarious. They would cross-reference like candy and find this variant. That's actually kind of funny. Climate disaster. That'd be actually hilarious if at the end he stays there as an agent. Okay. Man, she is such a party pooper. She's got a beautiful voice. I love her voice though. Yeah, with so much emphasis on he. Obviously, the big twist, it's a she, right? So this is what 2050 looks like. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, that Loki's watching. Uh-oh, there's a bomb. Or something. There's like nobody there. That is very suspicious, though. Oh, there we go. So, what was that transference of green energy that went onto her? Ah, okay. Mm. Enchantment. So she's just transferring consciousness back and forth all over the place? 8 to 10 seconds. Oh. So that Loki wants to not rule them. She probably just wants to kill them. I'm convinced this is a female Loki. Like, they're pointing too much to it. Right? Especially with the exaggeration on the pronouns. I want one of those. Wow. Shocker. I didn't think they'd show it so soon. And she's blonde. Okay. Kaboobly? Literally? Oh. So she was collecting them? She's creating like a bunch of branches. Literally chaos to the order they've been trying to do. That's how they're calling it, bombing the sacred timeline. Oh. Okay. The game is afoot. Nice. Okay, so since it's Marvel, and I always have to kind of be careful when it comes to end credits, so let's just take a quick peek here if there's anything that I might miss out on. I'm just going to fast forward 10 seconds, 20. All right, let me see here. One thing I like about Disney Plus, you can kind of see where you're going as you move your cursor forward. I don't see any end credits or anything. Yeah, go right to the end here. Okay, nada. We're good. We're good. Gotta be careful with this stuff. Okay. My review / takeaways coming up. The heat is on. Do, do, do. That's as far as I can go with that song. And I'm not going to torture your poor ears. All right, so there's a lot to be said with this episode, but as per my usual formula when it comes to my review takeaway portion of the video, I usually start with anything that I really did not like, move into anything that confused me, and then of course end off with my top 3 takeaways from the episode that makes it memorable for me. So with that being said, let's start with anything I completely outright did not like, and can't really think of anything right now. Like that stood out to me that I'm like, yeah, boo. Except for, I would say, just a slight, tiny bit slight disappointment that the amazing Bonnie Tyler song that they used in one of the action sequences at the beginning, I felt like it wasn't the best scene to overlay that particular song. I don't know, maybe because I associate that song with so many other types of things from my childhood, so I'm just like, they could have chosen a much better sequence to overlay that awesome song. But aside from that, nothing really stood out to me that I was just like, not on board with. It's going to depend on what the story is now for stuff that's coming up, as we can see, which I'll touch on in a bit. Now, as for confusion, I am a bit confused on one main thing, and it's going to require me having to go and watch some breakdown videos about this episode so I can kind of understand it a little bit better. But this is where you, my comic book experts, are welcome to simplify it and clarify it for me in the comment section. And that is the whole thing related to the Nexus energy. Now, when it comes to this episode, I still don't get it as a whole. Like, what does it really mean? So if you're kind enough to explain that to me in the comment section in very simple terms, I'd really appreciate that. But nonetheless, hopefully by the next episode, after some research and watching other videos, I'll have a better understanding, because I feel that's obviously something I need to really understand in order to, pretty much get the whole damn show. To some degree, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's now talk about my top 3 moments or takeaways from this episode that definitely makes it memorable. And so I'm going to start with the most obvious, and that is female Loki. That's the big reveal. And if you watch my reaction, I actually was kind of talking about it as a commentary at the beginning of the episode, not expecting, though, that it would be a reveal they would do in the second episode. Because I was like, wow, they're really pushing heavy on the pronouns of saying he, go get him, this and that, even though it was kind of weird they would do that since they've already put it in the first episode that Loki's gender fluid. So I thought at the very minimum, with the standards of today's vernacular, apparently, that they would at least maybe call Loki just by the name Loki and not push the pronoun he so heavily so that we'd be surprised at the end. Oh, wait, this is not a he Loki, it's a she Loki, right? I don't know, is it just me or was that just not really well done in that sense? If you get what I'm talking about. But anyway, that is the most obvious takeaway for sure. And it's probably going to be the big talk coming up as to, who this particular Loki is, whether their motivations, and then how does it now fare into this Loki that we've known all this time versus this new Loki that perhaps may be a part of Phase 4. I'm not sure where they're going with that, so we'll see. We'll see. And my second takeaway from this episode is watching this Loki of ours adapt to an environment where he can't use his magic, and everything that's expressed from him is from his personality. There's no zippity zap of doing this, there's no bickering with Thor. This is Loki trying to connect with other humans on a completely different level that we've never been exposed to, hence the TV show that allows us to now see these many facets of Lokis. Like, for instance, seeing Loki sit at a desk, read a magazine, learn stuff from an AI that he ends up trying to chase away, and also trying to create this partnership of trust with Mobius and everybody else that he comes in contact with so that he can be safe, even though they have no idea whether they can trust a word he can say. And even me as a viewer, I'm just like, how much of that is a lie? Because, he does lie. But I guess what I really appreciate and what I'm trying to express here is I loved seeing Loki the person trying to not only survive, because, he's trying to stay alive, really, but at the same time, he's trying to prove himself as not only useful, but clever and smart. But I can't help wonder how much of that is kind of an act just for the sake of surviving, because as we saw at the end, he left and he went off to, I guess, chase after that female Loki to catch up with them or what thereof. But now the trust that Mobius was trying to have in him, is that going to be completely for nothing and it's going to be sort of a do-over in episode 3 or episode 4? Or are we going to see Loki at the TVA at all? I mean, I don't blame him for trying to escape, but at the same time, it's kind of like, well, he knows that they can go and capture him again, so maybe that's the point. He knows it's going to get him anyway, and then he'll probably say, oh, this was part of my plan, trust me, Who knows? But the point is, for this particular takeaway from this episode, I enjoyed seeing the extra layer of the personality of Loki, the person, the man that we've known for so long in this environment, in this setting, under these circumstances. And my last takeaway from this episode is now the subject of these timekeepers that's been fleshed out just a little bit more for me. And I know there's going to be a ton more breakdown videos about it, but for the sake of this episode, staying with what I've just seen and heard or think I've understood, I absolutely love that conversation between Mobius and Loki about the perception of reality and how much of what you believe is perhaps true in a grander sense versus your subjective aspect of truth. And the questions it raises in relation to the timekeepers is, do they have the right to govern what should be in terms of the will and actions of people? It seems as if that's the case, if the timekeepers are governing and keeping in order the supposed destinies that everyone is supposed to have in every timeline, then the people at the TVA are the only ones truly free to do whatever they want, because there's nothing governing their actions. They're the ones given the power and the authority from the timekeepers to play their role in governing over the timelines. So I like the questions that raises, how fair is that? And I'm just going to put this as an early prediction. And if you've watched my previous reactions and predictions, 99% of the time I'm wrong. So at this point, I have nothing to lose by saying it anyway, and hope for the best. Hope for that 1% chance that I'll be right. And that is, I think, at the end of this series, because there's only 6 episodes, I think it's going to be a dismantling of the TVA. And now no one's going to have authority on who can live what way, in what fashion. I really wouldn't be surprised if it's Loki versus the timekeepers and it's a complete destruction or nullification of the power they have over the destinies of people and circumstances, and that in turn may actually create a chaotic situation that will lead us into other Marvel properties and other Marvel storylines. Something like that. So there you have it. That is my reaction and my review of episode 2, The Variant of Loki. And of course, I am definitely on board and itching for episode 3. And let me know in the comments what aspects so far of this show, or 1 or 2 aspects, or 3 or 4, whatever. What are components about this show that is definitely bringing you back? Is it the story narrative that you're very interested in, or is it just the performances from Owen Wilson as Mobius and Tom Hiddleston as Loki that you're digging like I am? Because I'll be straight, just like I said in my reaction. If it came down to a shitty story in the end, but I got great performances like this between 2 actors that have great chemistry, I'm still fine. I'm still fine watching the show, honestly. I guess everybody's got their priorities, right? But that is my main priority that I feel engages me a lot. Even if the story goes south. Because, with Marvel, with certain things they're trying to introduce now in the mainstream, it seems to be ruffling feathers on one end to the other end. And me being a normie in this, I'm just kind of like, well, if I'm entertained, I'm entertained, and if I'm not, I'm not. And that's really what it comes down to. So let me know in the comments, what are you looking forward to for episode 3? Or what's the main thing that engages you with the Loki show so far? I'd like to know. In any case, if you enjoyed this video, the best way that you can show me is by following those prompts that you see there at the bottom right-hand side of the screen. Right over here. That'd be great. Thank you so much for watching, and until episode 3, I'm signing out. Yes, I am. Peace out. Thanks for watching. Check out my other videos and subscribe. You know you wanna.